Oh, light the motherfucker up. Oh, there we go. All right. I think we're ready to do it. Ooh, I think we're ready to do it. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's get ready to rumble. Ah, guess before we get started, I'm going to start with a little CBD oil for my hands. Here we go. All right. No, I want to say this. Let me say this. Ah, anointed everything with eucalyptus oil. We're going to get it out the shadow. There we go. All right, eucalyptus oil. So everything is anointed. Oh, let me add a little bit of tone first. Argonite for everybody. Argonite. Blue argonite. Giving you a little something special. Each and every one of you. All right, here we go. motherfucker gets a little heavy on my shoulder. Well, welcome each and every one of you. This is the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am your host, 8 Win, or I'm your host. I go by Big Pontiac. I am also go by 8 Win. I also go by Time Lord. My real name is Brian, but my family calls me Toby or Toad. I am also the holder of the sacred ball game that was created by the Hero Twins. I am also your galactic daddy-o sitting on my galactic patio from Minnesota to the universe. So welcome each and one of you to the galactic patio. Well, maybe we might possibly have a galactic experience. So tonight's featured brew is still Flounders Founders Porter. Don't you wish you was drinking like me? So pop them if you got them. Look at that goodness. Malts and barley, not that corn shit that they put in Budweiser. Ooh. Mr. Beer made a mission. And if you're smoking, I'm still using, I think it's called Evolve Plus XL by Yukon Wolf. So smoke them if you got. Or smoke them if you want them. Hey, PJ. All right. Atom, what's happening? Brother PJ, what's happening? Marco, what's happening? Ray, what's happening? Mr. Pale Horse Rider, what's happening? Hey, PJ, you know I had to go pick it up. See that Hank Aaron shit? Got his autograph, $7.50. I went out to the outlet today. And I was telling folks, you want to wear polo and don't spend a lot. Look at this shit. Yeah. $180 shirt. I didn't pay that much for it. That's the way to shop. But man, I'm gonna get into it a little bit. Now this is how funny I am. I bought these at Marshalls, and they're very comfortable here. And these is pretty much gonna be my house shoes. So last year I bought these. These have the bounce technology. This is what I wear in the house most of the time, but I'm getting ready to wear these in the summer outside. And these were $30. These were 15. It was kind of giving me. However, Adidas had 50% off. Get these motherfuckers over. You can see these motherfuckers is $35. And these are the black equivalents with the bounce technology. When you have sword dog, you want to wear shit. And they had the Spider Mitchell threes for freaking $60. It's normally 110. It's 3 colorway. 2 of them are on sale for $60. So I got tired of carrying shit and going back and forth to the car. So I'm gonna go back and get them tomorrow. Little Jordans. It was one the Saint Germain shit, and I kind of want to get into that a little bit one day. But I'd rather wear this kind of shit than that Saint Germain shit. Hey, Mr. Lamborghini, leg lock. Oh, they had a Thielen jersey, and then they had I found the sweater to the St. Paul the winter game. But I was like, I don't know if I want to drop that 100 and something. I get a discount. Yeah, I'm not trying to drop that shit. Stacy, what's happening? PJ, after suffering why is my shit way over there? After suffering plantar fasciitis for so many years, I have to be careful with shoes, and I finally Adidas do it for me. Um, my last 6, 7 shoes been all Adidas. That bounce technology, they call it something like I think light or something, but it's by far the most comfortable. Fools coming to work drunk. I own a few different security companies, and I had one old boy, stone cold, stone cold alcoholic, but mostly dependable. Ex-Vietnam vet named Mickey. I doubt Mickey's alive today, but anyway, I gave Mickey a job, and Mickey was dependable. Mickey had to open up the welfare office at 5:30. I think that's when the first people came. Mickey would do it. But and one funny story, he called me one day and he said, uh, he's like, uh, I got punched at work. And I was like, well, tell me the story. He's like, yeah, this, because it was vets that would come in there. Homeless, there was wasn't a Salvation Army, but it was a place where homeless people could come and live. As long as you followed their rules, they had beds for men. I would say. And so he called me and told me he got punched on the job. So I'm like, I'm going up there and stuff. And so as I'm walking in the building, because it took me a minute, I didn't live too far away. So if I'm walking to the building, these women are cracking up and they stop. They said, your officer got his ass kicked. I said, what happened? They said, well, and so what my guy did is what he was supposed to do. He goes, like what was happening is a lot of these homeless people would come try to wash up in the welfare office bathroom. And people was getting hassled for doing that shit. So talking to the management, it's like, can you guys stop this? You see him in there doing this shit, make him go out. So he goes in there and sees the guys cleaning up. He's like, you got to leave. So he, okay, so he walks behind the dude, and they both walking off, and the dude just turns around and smacks him, like just catches him square, knocks Mickey down, and this is where the lady was telling the story. He's like, yeah, they knocked Mickey down, and Mickey like fell out, he crumbled down. Then the dude jumped on top of him, was banging his head on the ground. And they're sitting there laughing at this shit. They are laughing at this shit. So with Mickey, it kind of went like this. Ah! Ah! I was laughing at his but to tell the whole story of Mickey was such an alcoholic. He got out of work like 2:30. He got out before the rest of my guys didn't get out till like I think the welfare was closed at 5:30. So I had somebody staying at 5:30. So we had like 12 hours worth of coverage. And Mickey was such an alcoholic that literally from the time he got home, he would drink until about 3, 4 in the morning is when he would stop to go to work. Now, not drink all day, but as soon as he got home, he just drank. And I imagine that I'm pretty sure he's passed. He was a little older than me at the time. So, but and a couple of days he went in there smelling. I had to send him home and shit. And I'm like, look, motherfucker, you want to work, you want to make these checks, you got to quit coming. Get drunk until midnight, get you some sleep, get you something to eat, and then fucking. So I didn't have to fire him. As long as we had that contract, he was straight. But there he is, see over. See over. And I don't, I want to say with Ciova, I've said this to him too. I think his work is just as important as what Bobby Hewitt is doing because this is the information age. And just like I told him, I was going to buy that faulty camera I told her I'd buy it sight unseen, but because of Ciova, I did my research. I looked up the camera. I saw its shortcomings, and I saw the possibilities. But the way I wanted to use it, it didn't make sense. Have I tried the Adidas Boost? Yeah, I want to say the yes, I have, Greg. I think I have. Yeah, and I want to say the Boost might be in the Donovans. I think they went from, well, I could be wrong, but I thought that's what they went from. They went from the bounce to something else. Conspiracy University, my man. Yeah, I don't know how much more I can cut it up. So, God damn. Oh, there it is. There's that bad motherfucker. Crystals on the ground and shit. All right. Let's bring the props in. There we go. All right. All right. Perhaps this will help. Thank you, Ciova. I appreciate it. My noise. Okay, let's try this. Oh. But thank you. Thank you. Something happens to me sometimes. Okay. Yeah, but no, I just appreciate you, and it just really made me look at podcasting in a whole new light. Um, and as I said, your influence on making the sound effects a part of the show, I think that's undeniable. I always thought this shit was funny though. I would see him do that canned laugh, and that shit just was always so funny to me. Oh, smooth mixed, light skin goodness. Thank you for coming, Smooth. Whoever said the Wild was gonna win. Oh, you know what? I want to say they blacked that game out. I didn't see it, and we get all the games. I think they blacked that game out here, so they lost. Brother Samuel, what's happening? Hopefully, all is yeah. Everything is smooth, bro. Everything is smooth. The LeBron game definitely rigged. Yeah. MJ the GOAT. Thanks for joining. We went over that last night. We went over that yesterday. Very kind words, Samuel. Thank you. Goodbyes. But indeed. I half watched the games today. Half watched them. Didn't really. I had so much shit going on that the game be on. I did the one play that showed who was the shot. The shot went out. I made a video about that. That was probably the best one I've done, as far as showing a miss shot. Because how they can do it. James Gant, what's happening? Oh, that's right. That started the game. Thank you, James. I'll watch it after this. I forgot it came on today. I'll watch it after this. Yeah, 56 was rigged. When he went to school, he lost 2 free throws. I knew he wasn't missing. I kissed the NBA today. Oh, okay, good. NBA. You missed NBA games. Yeah, I caught the two. I caught the two because I went out, shot Bill Walker. Of course, it was rigged. Yeah, literally all of his shots were bagged and assists. I don't know. LeBron got a rebound under the basket, went right back up with it. So they don't need to rig them all. They don't need to rig them all. They just need to rig them where the point shaving comes into play. Once the point shaving comes into play, hey, that's when they start rigging it. And as I said, they can help you make it or they can help you miss it. That's just the name of it. It's like the field goals. Like, really, you think one guy can kick 5 field goals that hits the goalpost? He's doing that on purpose. I mean, that's another reason it appears that they made the extra points go back further, is because it was probably easier to control the misses. When they were so close, it's possible that it was harder to control. So they push him back. Oh, where am I? This may push Bron as the GOAT, especially if he wins it for all the LA this year. If they do, they would pass off the GOAT. Plus, when he breaks Jabbar's scoring record, all-time scorer, that will push him over if he doesn't. Stacey Ray, I love hanging out with you, even though you guys talk a lot of sports. I know my B-ball, that's about it. I love your talk. Well, thank you. Thank you. That's very, very, very nice for you to say. Jay, what's happening? When I was young, I listened to college sports are probably more real, as less rigged than professional sports. If you look at the history, college has went on longer than pro sports, and so college was rigged before pro sports. The thing that really made college take off was Red Grange. Now, Red Grange had the power to probably be part owner of the Chicago Bears, and he blew it. Him and his agent was very greedy and didn't see the potential, because eventually what Red Grange did is the same thing that Ernie Nevers did, that played up in Duluth. They played 30 games one year, 30 traveling games, because hell, ain't no football in the fall up Duluth. It's fucking Alaska up there. So Red Grange started his own pro league for a little while. And of course, it's bust, and he ended up going back to Chicago, and I think he won a couple of championships with New York. Tore his knee up, so he played mostly defense after he tore his knee up. But but he made college kind of a national thing, and of course the NFL wanted him, and so George Halas signed him. But but I think that it would have benefited him if he would have wrote his contract. He don't have the team. That's what I would have done. So college has always been rigged. Like again, I always mention, watch the Three Stooges movie about football. Watch the Marx Brothers movie about football. It might be called Horse Feathers. I can't remember the Marx Brothers. Yep, just as rigged. Um, yeah, and definitely, Jay. I think that's what they did to extra points. I think that's why they stuck them back. I mean, there's no reason to say to make them more challenging. That makes no sense. It's a reward that you get an extra point as a reward for getting the touchdown. So how are you taking this reward away or making the reward more challenging? But motherfuckers like Skip Bayless and shit complaining. Complaining about it. And that's kind of why, or it was a lot of times they strategize. Hey Key, thank you for joining. Thank you. Had to catch the replay. Trapped on early. Okay, tapped out early. Yeah, I'm a little tired tonight. Shit, I must have. Hey, brother Samuel. Thank you for joining. Be still. Thank you. I don't know. I'm gonna go see Batman. We're going to see Batman Tuesday on the $5 day. So I'm gonna go buy my tickets early, and then me and my son gonna go watch it. So I don't know. I was trying to look at my movie thing on my old phone, and my son fucked it all up. he fucked it all up. So all my movies, it's like a little more challenging to find them. So, what's the name of the movies you recommend? Yeah, I couldn't tell you. It's none I really say. I'm gonna go see Batman, but that's about it. I can't really say anymore because I don't really know what other movies is out there. Even on Netflix, I ain't really been watching it. Yeah, Brand got it at 37, 56 points. He can get 56 this year, 5-6 this year. Hey, Conley, thank you for joining. Oh, Brother Lobo, what's happening? Thank you for joining. I recommend them sports movies. Oh, I recommend the sports movies. Any Given Sunday is a good example. It's a real good example. Oh, shoot, what's this other? Trying to think. It was another movie that kind of Charleston Heston played in it, and he played that he was the quarterback for the beginning New Orleans when New Orleans was first their first season. I think was 67, 68, or 66, 67. I don't quite remember. But there's a sports movie about him playing quarterback and the beating he takes. Oh, Lobo, I was thinking about you. Where's it at? This music, this dude made a line. What did it say? I ain't Captain Save-A-Ho to a nigga. I ain't Captain Save-A-Ho to a nigga. I thought that was a brilliant line. One of Craig Facts dudes has this channel. Oh, I should know what it is. Just saw Batman. It was good. Okay. I'm gonna go check that out. We're gonna go check it out Tuesday. Yeah, me and my well, he's my youngest son, but yeah, me and him going. Yeah, I think Brian wins this year. The numbers are strong for him, and pay attention to. He's been so calm this entire season, and released when they've been too bad. He knows what's up. We'll see. They just got to make a lot of ground up. Anthony Davis got to stay healthy, which I just don't see. As soon as he jump up, B. Brown, what's happening? Conley, what's happening? Right as soon as I settled in this office, motherfucker come up in here. Tonight has been fucking Twilight Zone. I know how that shit be, man. I definitely know how that shit be. I tell you, one of my security accounts was just lovely for me. It was back in my hustling days, and as I said before, I would work from time to time or come in there and do my paperwork. And or if one of my guys didn't show up, I had to cover their shift. But it was just a great way of hustling because I was central in town, and it was just everything looked natural. Nothing looked like hustling. Everything looked pretty much natural. And I had control of the buildings on the weekends, and I had control after 6. Well, the cleaning crew got done at 11, and from 11 I had the building. It was like penthouse rooms upstairs that I had keys to. So I used to have parties and shit. I would do third shifts when nobody else would be there. I'd have a bunch of people partying, cars up and down the street. We up in the building. No one ever thought anything about it. And I knew a cleaning crew that cleaned them rooms when people would stay because it was part of Transamerica. So we'd have people come over and stay in, dorms in there too. But oh man, you talking about having sex on the job. And I told this story years ago. There was actually 6 buildings that we had. And I started messing with a girl in the building. And what we would do is we would have sex in the different buildings. So like we started having sex in the main building that she worked in, and then we would go to the outer buildings because it's all on the same block. One big block had all the buildings on both sides. And we would have sex. We would, have sex in the different, because it was beds like in all the buildings, it was beds. So is that Lobo one who makes vids about rig football? I think he does some basketball. Forget if I saw football. You're Vengeance, okay? Well, good to see you, Vengeance. Jeremiah, thank you for joining. Sports gambling movie. 2 for the money. Okay. Yep, it would. Okay. Should never be a simp. Should never be a simp, indeed. Uh, uh, hey, so thank you for joining. So back in my adventurous days, there was security adventure. I did more dirt when I worked for, worked and ran security companies than ever. Just having control of these businesses and offices. And I'm talking about in the 80s and the 90s. So, there wasn't cameras everywhere. They was too cheap. They would put cameras like in the basement where the car was, especially Transamerica building. The only camera was coming in and out of the garage. So, and this is, I've said before, they had a bombing shelter down there. All this food, and some of this food was still good because we tried it. Some of the food had oozed cans open years, but this was, atomic bomb hit. Motherfuckers go up in here and got some food and water. I mean, it was like a lot of the food was still good. And this shit was built late 40s, late 40s. Again, I'm in a generation where they told you if you go under your desk and put a book under your head, it would attack you from an atomic bomb, which really is napalm. If you really look at what they claim to be atomic bomb, it's really napalm, I think. I think it's a lie about atomic bombs. I think if you look at Nagasaki and the other city, you see people right after the bomb. You see U.S. people in there. Radiation would be crazy if it was real. They couldn't go up in there for months because of radiation. But we don't see that happen, do we? What we do, if you look at the kind of injuries, it's napalm injury. Napalm. So they ain't got no goddamn atomic bombs. That's a fallacy. That's a lie. Ah. So, I mean, hell, don't you know they used to have soldiers be close when they now? Oh, let me say this. Now the mushroom cloud, brother Nick Taylor, my homeboy, explained they have rounds that will make the mushroom cloud. So looking at them old testing shit, because they do a mushroom cloud, don't mean shit. Don't mean nothing. Don't mean nothing. Not a thing. So all this nuclear talk, yeah, napalm. Not to say they ain't got stronger and stronger bombs. Phosphorus bomb is a motherfucker. So Willie Beeman, yeah, Willie Beeman was cool. That was I'll tell you, if you it really what is it? Any Given Sunday was really a really good movie by Oliver Stone. I mean, in the raw version, they show a dude with Carmen and what's her name in the locker room with the dude dick. They put some big dick nigga to sitting behind her, and he's like with his dick out, which is kind of how it is, and that's why female reporters had to sue. They had to sue to go into the male locker room. And of course, we have a female owner in that movie, but the real version, there's a dude naked behind Carmen Diaz. She's in the locker room while they're getting dressed, which is a thing. You even see that in college. You get interviewed. You come out, start getting dressed, and it's reporters in the locker room. So, do you think blacks can become the number one race in the world again? We are. What are you talking about? Melanated people are the most people in the world. Now, despite you have Asians that bleach their skin, the Asians is the ones that started bleaching their skin. Because all these continents was pretty much started by melanated people. Look at Japan. Look at the Japan people. Look at the ancient people that started China. And China was the first, and this is documented. China was the first in history to start taking melanin out of their skin by systematically lighter with light. And now you got some Chinese that bleach their skin and all this process of not wanting to be melanated and look more European. I mean, look at Chinese videos. Look at them. They all Haley looking. Remember they tried to call him the yellow man? Do you see Chinese as yellow people or even Japanese people as yellow people anymore? They want the blonde hair, which blonde hair is not a European only trait. You know, people in the islands have blonde hair and blue eyes. Mm. Lima, what are your thoughts on 9/11? I don't have any thoughts on that shit. What do you think about crypto? I never got seems like gambling. Um, I'll say this: it was really cool before, and I always felt the government had something to do with it by buying guns, buying drugs. When it first started, it was a great way to move things around the country. Great thing to move, great way to move things around the country. Now, if you look at it now, it took a big dip in the last 2 weeks. It went down to 34, 33. And then late last week, it rebounded back up to 44, 43. But on the other hand, gold, I'm pretty sure closed at 1900. It stayed at 1900 all week, which I think is a more solid bet to buy gold and silver, whatever you before. But crypto is really not bad. If you looked at it, even if you bought in when it was 32, it went back up almost $10,000. So, you know, $10 would have given you about 100 within a week. So, um, you, with all stocks, even with your 401ks, you gotta pay attention, and that's what most people don't do. They give this money to people, and they don't realize that you have to pay attention to this stuff. And most people don't. Yeah, them K-pop dudes, whiter than white. When you see Asian chicks get BBLs, it's gonna be a problem. You know, I have on Facebook. I am friends or following a bunch of Bollywood chicks, and the Bollywood chicks is getting the booties, getting the boobs. You know, because that's what Americans want. They want the big boobs and the hippie hips. Ah, so yeah, yeah, they get it's coming with them. It's coming for them. You can believe it's coming. They're eventually gonna have all that. Eventually gonna have that is the Americanized way of looking at things. But yeah, like gold is like even silver. It's easy to get silver and easy to get 99% silver. I had some people steal a bunch of my silver. I had moved, or I was on my process of moving, and these people broke in my house and stole a bunch of my silver while I was moving. They stole my beta machine. I was just keeping my beta machine just to keep it. And motherfuckers stole my beta machine. You know, betas was cool. Tapes, you know, top loader. The porn killed beta because the porn industry decided VHS. So, but just follow. I follow stocks. You know, I listen to the talking heads for like an hour. You watch the first talking head, and they tell you everything that's going on that day. And then I watch the business section. Like I watch Fox Business, I watch MSNBC Business. I go back and forth and watch business and watch my stuff. And that's the only intelligent way to do it. Now, like even my iPhone has my stocks that stream, and so I follow that all day. And so my broker, she is just around the corner from me. So if I want, I can sneak up in there and talk to her, or just give her a call, or just online. So the thing is follow what you do and invest with intelligence. That's the best way I could tell anybody. Uh, Percentage wise, silver is much better investment. I assure you, for 5 years minimum from the day you bought silver, you're going to get a little nice bag. Absolutely, because remember, silver was $5 for a long time, and now silver is up to. I don't know if it closed at 25, but it did. It did reach 25. I know it closed higher than 24, and you can get pure silver coins that really aren't that expensive. But what's fucked up about this state is I can't get silver coins sent directly to me. I have to go to like a pawn shop or someone that sells gold to get coins. Most states you can just order that shit. Not in this state. I don't even think I could order them off eBay. I really don't. But that's good advice. That's good advice. And silver is more affordable for people. But think about it like this: all my silver that I had still left that I paid $5 for are now worth $25. 2000 was the best year silver. It hit $50. Now I told this story at Conspiracy University. And I don't know if you were following me then. I might have not have told it on this channel. I want to say it was 82 or 83. I started working for the water department in 82. So it was 82 or 83. Now, you know, the Hunt family owns the Kansas City Chiefs. They come from the Hunt oil people. There's a CIA guy, Howard Hunt, all same family. I want to say E.L. Hunt was their father, but they had a brother named Bunker Hunt. Silver had went down to something like 90 cents an ounce. And don't you know, Bunker Hunt bought all silver market. He bought the whole silver market. Do you hear what I'm saying? He bought all of it. He said, okay, you motherfuckers devaluing it like this, I'm snatching it off. Nothing illegal. He didn't do anything illegal. He played their game. And don't you know, they end up throwing him in jail for a little while and blocking the sale of him taking all that silver. True story. You can look it up. Look it up. Bunker Hunt. He didn't just corner. Normally, you start getting a great amount of shares. They call it. No, he took it all. And this is what's interesting. And this tells you the European influence. When the Spanish first really took full control of running Mexico and getting the resources, Mexico was the #1 producer, which produced for Spain, of silver in the world. By the time they were fully conquered, which was the late 1780s, China was one of the biggest importers of silver. And these Spanish made millions off of silver. Silver is more abundant in America than gold. If you look at the movie Follow the Yellow Brick Road, they're trying to switch it from silver to gold. That's why silver, they devalued it so much. Now, I've talked before that the gold rush was nothing more when they defeated Mexico, they needed more Europeans in California. They did the same thing in 1849 to get people to go into Colorado, Wyoming, them states. They lied about this gold. And again, who benefited off really the gold rush? Levi's jeans, them peoples. A lot of these old people that own a lot of these banks, them peoples. People sew pans, picks, you know, the vulture kind of people that are on the fringes. You do the hard work, and we're going to benefit where we don't do work. What does the book of Isabella say? Them peoples don't do work with the land. They only benefit off people that work for the land. They don't toil. They're not toilers of the earth. uh, I'll get you what you want, homie. I'll ship it to you. Bet. Okay. Yeah, because these motherfuckers is funny up here, boy. Do you think this new age music is taking the black youth in the wrong direction? Yeah. Because this is what I don't get. Um, there are dudes that talk about selling crack that was too young. And then, of course, we've got all the violence on violence and the songs that they talk violently about our people. I mean, that shit is like, how is that even worth it? Like, how doesn't anyone see it? And I know people want the bag. I understand that. I understand people want money. Okay, but why is your art about the destruction of your people? And what do they say? What's the thing? I wish a nigga would. Why wouldn't it be? I wish anybody would. Why does it just have to be the violence against our people? So, that is my thing. Why would you ask? Of course, dude is in it. uh, yeah, it does take us out of the wrong direction if that was the question. uh, boycott rap at all costs. Well, like, hey, what's happening, Lorenzo? Like yesterday. Yesterday, I played. My son got mad because I'm like, "Fuck you! You want to stay up all night?" When I get up and get ready, I play music to get ready, and I played music like 10 hours straight yesterday. My thing crapped out on me. I had to go plug it back in, but 10 hours. I played the whole time I was home. I pretty much played music. I had TV on for a little while, some games and shit yesterday, but mostly I listened to music all day. Now there's a couple rap songs I listen to, but mostly it's just jazz and R&B. Funk song, throw it in there. MC Breed, homeboy out of Flint, MC Breed. I play a little MC Breed, but but the music about destroying our people makes no sense. And them peoples encourage that. It ain't the Jesuits that encourage it. The Jesuits don't own the media company. I think anybody with any sense knows who owns the media company. Like I was watching some Hitler shit. Hitler be on every day. If they hated Hitler so much, why is he on every day? Every fucking day you can watch Hitler. Hitler was the first superstar, and they still showing it. And if you watch closely, I'm like an expert on detail, on scene detail. I mean, that's why I was the quality manager for Johnson Control when we made doors. I mean, we made the complete door. Looking at films, they blew his ass up. When they caught his ass, East Prussia, I think, when they blew his ass up, they killed that one. And then the old man with the shaking hands at the end, you can look and see his other dude. It's like, what's his name in Cuba? He had 3 or 4 dudes that looked like him. Everybody remember the movie they made about Iraq, about Saddam Hussein's son? They gave a dude plastic surgery to play his double, and the real dude was a fucking pedophile. Remember, anybody see that movie? I can't think of the name of it. But this dude was the double, and that's what, like, when my son saw Trump speak at Shakopee at the My Pillow Factory, my son said he saw a Trump smoking by the bus. And we know Donald Trump don't smoke or drink, but he said he saw a Trump smoking by the bus. He's like, man, so there was a double even there. And remember, Dick Gregory said, which Trump? Remember, Dick Gregory said that? Which Trump? Uh, he just said, hey, I do the same thing. Music gets you moving. Yeah, like I said, music can move and remove. Yeah, Hitler's on every day. Every day they repeat the shit too. Them peoples. Ernestine took the TH and put DEM. I like the way Ernestine put it. So that's why I say them. But yeah, Hitler's on every day. Now, they tell you how much they hate Hitler. You can steal the Russell Athletics. It's made by Boss. Hugo Boss made the Nazi clothes. And you can still buy the Nazi clothes. And I've mentioned this before. There's a picture, the best picture I've seen of all them Nazis. It was all the officers standing on some stairs, and all of them had them deep green trench coats on with the riding boots. That was one. I would get that in a poster if I could find that picture again, because all of them was just super clean. And then you got the Americans with the fucking what they call the Eisenhower jackets. The short belly jackets and shit. Those are called Eisenhower jackets. Eisenhower jacket style. When they cut off at at the belly, the Nazi shit looked far superior. Far superior. But this is the things we're faced with. And I'm still, having conversations with people about the racism in children that I'm seeing up here. And where does this come from? Now I live in a very conservative area. I mean, Trump won here easy. Down here didn't vote for Biden or Obama, but most of Minneapolis is pretty much conservative. You've got a, or not conservative but liberal. You got that liberal mayor during the Floyd, and this mayor is such an actor. They had when Floyd died, they had a funeral up here. Wasn't nobody in the casket, but they had a funeral up here. And Kevin Hart and Ludacris come. I didn't even know. Like I asked I was looking at where they was going. I'm like, where the fuck is that? I had to call my guy. I'm like, where is that shit? He's like, oh yeah, there is that small university over there. Like, why the fuck was Kevin Hart there? Kevin Hart is almost becoming like Shark. Why was Kevin Hart there at the funeral? But you got Mayor Fry touching the motherfucking empty casket, like they did Michael Jackson. The empty casket, and he's crying like a motherfucker. Knowing the motherfucker's empty. Why are you crying? Ain't nobody in this motherfucker. So, Tiger Strong, what's happening? What is something that no one can take away from me? What my ancestors passed on to me in my DNA. It's like, even when they take my mind away, which, as old age comes, and hopefully my mind will stay as sharp as my grandmother's, because my grandmother, she could look at pictures that was 60 years old and tell you exactly what the fuck she did all day. I hope I have that. But I think that is the biggest thing of what was passed on to me. It was the magic that my ancestors practiced. And part of what I said. I said time and time again that the infinite ball game is a part of creation. That is one thing that comes out of the omen in the mind. The ball game is a part of creation, so it is sacred. It is not something to cheat. It is something to make to cooperate, burn off energies. And so the one thing that but my awareness too, my presence of being present, those are things that regardless, if you put me in a little room, lock me away, wouldn't stop what I do. You may have locked my body up, but the way my mind works, I would still be able to go beyond and really go into self. What did he say? You kill me, you're gonna make me strong. Oh, Tiger Strong. Good question. How important is being in tune with your intuition? That's a funny thing. Intuition is usually looked at as something that women have, but we, with men, they call it the gut feeling. And as men, we pretty much, we have that gut feeling. And so I don't think people know how to tune into it. I see women with intuition operate a little easier around it. Like, a woman may think you cheat, and she'll start being a little detective and find out if her intuition is right or wrong, because there are triggers that can trigger intuition. And so I don't think men tap into that a lot, and that's what we call it as men. We call it our gut feeling. And so it's something that you should use your whole life, because it will help you in different situations. A lot of times, like what like, I guess I'll put this kind of thing out there. Say you're looking to buy two companies, and the finances and everything are both pretty equal. You talk to both companies, you see the production that you're going to get out of it, the people that were running it, the people you need to bring in. But when you're weighing these two companies, if there's something you feel off in one of them, a lot of times it's don't go with that. And for a lot of people, they'll be blinded because they're like, well, maybe if one was even slightly better. But if you find out that it's something that's shady there, you might want to step away from it. So, hey, brother Edward, yeah, we got to. I just subscribed to Tasha's channel. Yeah, I was trying to remember how Tasha did her last name, because Tasha does it like the Z, because some want to associate the Z with the omen, and it's really the Z are a younger tribe. However, I just ran across an article where the oldest inscriptions of Mayan writing, And matter of fact, some of it is Omen writing or Omic, the commercial name, but they know Mayan, but they do not know the Omen writing. They have not deciphered the Omen writing. So Tasha goes with Z, meaning going back to Omen, Omic. Yeah. But yeah, it was cool chopping it up. But yeah, Tasha Z. If you want to know, like you can even go back in the summertime where Tasha did surnames. Like Tasha broke down, you know how Malcolm X was one of the ones, and Malcolm X was an agent that worked for the government. I mean, it's booked by an FBI agent. They worked for, what do they call it, a C whatever nonprofit. So his whole career was he was nonprofit until he broke away. But anyway, Tasha proved that the names we had in America did not come from Europeans. Now, of course, a lot of people took Freeman and names like that, but most of the last names you see of most melanated people in America do not come from Europeans. There are names uniquely found here. Like even my name, like the name's Tawana is an American name, and that's the first name. My nickname, Toby, is definitely does not come from the European Tobias. It is a name already. That's why they tried to, put the stigma on it with roots. Left, right, center, independent, liberty, the people. Yeah, they're all on every side. That's what we try to say. Hey, Tiger Strong, do we own our own lives? That is a great question, Tiger Strong. Great question. And I'll answer it like this. If you look at the schedule of most people, even including the children, it is regimented. It is regimented. At a certain age, our children have to go to school. For you to survive, you have to work. And that's why, slavery never really went away because the rich keep getting richer. And yes, and that's why they destroyed the middle class, especially the melanated middle class that was created by the auto industry. That's why they took it all away from here. So to a point, no, we live the illusion. I mean, look at the days. Like how many of you, and especially young people, take count of you doing almost the same exact thing every day? And I mean, same exact thing. I used to watch my stepfather. He'd come home from work, take a shower, change clothes. First thing he'd do is get a Budweiser and smoke a cigarette in the corner, read the paper. I mean, he did this every day. And so when you see this kind of thing and you see other people doing this, it makes you feel like the illusion is real. And so for those people, they do not own their lives because they have totally given in to the system. The system totally runs them. So there are people, no, they don't control their lives. They don't break away. Story here probably kind of in some ways ruined part of my police career. I've told this story before. When I broke my own program, I stopped the drunk driver, brother, and he just got lost. It's like you get on campus, it's easy to get lost. Stopped him. I didn't call for backup. This European officer just comes and he did all his, the one leg and ABCs, and he was stumbling a little bit. And without me asking, I was going to get my own equipment. This European went and grabbed equipment. I read his mind, and his mind said, take this nigga down. And it really just changed me. And my son was like, you ruined your career just for that, and that black guy. Y'all. And yes, if he would have went and killed somebody, I'd have been liable. But that didn't happen. But it wasn't that. It was the hate that he showed me, the hate that came off of him. And it was like, I've got to do something against this hate. You don't even know this man. He just made a mistake. You're not here to judge him. If you take him to jail, there's no judgment by you. You are not the judge. But yet in that fraction, I read his mind of the hate he had for this man. And that just broke my program. And so to answer your question, to a certain point, some people don't. Some people don't. Oh, belly full. Thank you. Belly full. Well, thank you. That is so kind. Uh, I have a great intuition. Men just don't pay attention. I think women always assume men cheat. Not really intuition. No, but there's triggers too, and that's what you have to understand is what men do. Men open up triggers for women, and as you say, women pay attention to the little triggers and the movements. Now, let me tell you one way I got busted one time, and it's kind of nasty, but and this is how men don't pay attention. So I was with my who ended up being my second wife. We had been together, and uh, I go home and I just take off my clothes, put them in the dirty clothes, don't think nothing about them. I get home the next night, I open the door, I get attacked by this woman that's really upset. And I'm like, why are you so upset? And she shows me my underwear, and my underwear were all bloody because apparently my future wife was on her period when we were together. And it was like, and how can you deny that kind of thing? Well, my penis got cut and it just, blood shot everywhere. So no getting away from that. But I think you're right. Women do pay attention to cues and just like filling out certain people. Women are a little better sometimes. It's like their husband may see a friend, and the women will see the folly in that so called friend a little quicker than the husband. So, D Still, thank you for joining us. Relationship talks about dating to be simple for one to build. Why do people always have relationship talks? Shouldn't dating be simple from one goal to build a family? That's not even the goal anymore. Like I've met chicks that just want to be taken out, older chicks that just like to go out to dinner. I mean, it's like no, really try to get to know you. It's like they like, and I call them, go out hoes. It's a lot of go out hoes. They just want to be taken to dinner. Him and MLK work with them. Oh yeah, both of them. Michael King, Smoker, what's happening? Choice always present. The choice is always present. Yeah, yeah. Mini slumber. Yeah, well, yeah, and that's why they changed the word for woke to mean liberal. Uh, the Lakers is back. Chiefs, great guy. What's up? How do you know when it's time to leave the matrix style of living and pursue your own heart and desire? Realistically, can you afford to? That's the biggest thing. Now, you can still bust through it, even you can still bust through it, even staying in the matrix. You can still play the matrix. That's never goes away. And all you have to do is be aware, be aware and still play the matrix. Because again, we're one of the few people that we have to pay to live. And most things in nature don't have to pay. So us having to pay to live is against nature because nature provides somewhere for everything to live. I mean, if anybody watches gorillas is happy as hell just to be around greenage, where they can just sit, mate with a fellow female gorillas, and start a little clan, and happy in a motherfucker just to be where they got all the green they can eat. That's a great life. These are gentle animals. They just want to live on the side of a mountain where it's just a lot of green shit to eat. Leave them the fuck alone. Instead, these weirdos like rhinos want to cut their hands off, cut their feet off, and do all this shit that they think to help these mothers. I'm just sick as hell. But yeah, Chiefs God, Lakers ain't coming back. I ain't believing that. Nah, I don't believe in anything. Definitely not Lakers coming back. You know when it's time to leave. Okay, I think I read that one. But it's if you can afford to. That's the biggest thing. Women show they cheat by altering their behaviors. Men just are more obvious. I pay attention when a woman changes around you, something is up, and men don't think. It was like my first wife and her her husband now, when she met him, she told me, like, I met this guy. I didn't give a fuck. You know, I was in love with my future wife. I didn't give a fuck what she did at that point. Everything I had achieved with her, I figured I could go achieve with my new wife or the new girl. And she was in a fucked up situation too. You know, I don't want to tell all my ex-wife's business, but she grew up hard. Ah, thank you, Belly. uh, I read people's smart men pay attention. It's not hard. I read people like no other. Women are easy to read, just can't sit down and examine. Yeah, that's all you got to do is just pay attention. The regimen is something that I never wrap my head around. I would never work for any company or be someone's employee. Too many ways to get the bag. Yeah, I would agree with that. Uh, in the world, not the world. Be in the world, but not of the world. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, Dating even worth it these days? Like time period, is no point. I kind of agree with that. I kind of agree. I don't. I just stopped because it was just I saw this pattern of older women just wanting to go out to eat, just wanting some company. I dated this one chick, and this chick like had a type of accident where she kind of had to learn a lot all over again. And she and her man pretty much got addicted to crack, I'm pretty sure. And then she tells me he had her out home. I'm like, oh, he had you out home. So she's like, well, sex means, kind of money to me. I mean, not anymore, but that's what it reminds me of. And I'm thinking, shit, you was addicted too. Don't just blame him. You had to lay with these motherfuckers. So LeBron scored. Yeah, we talked about that. 56. So, I am kind of into the mode of I'm gonna do things with people instead of just trying to set up a one time just to see if we like each other. Let's go check something out and see, you know. Let's be truly entertained where we're both kind of equally going into the entertainment. Oh, Seven Bomar last live was titled "How to Exit the Matrix." Yeah, I watched it. As I said before, if you look at what is his name, the dude from Alabama. I'm not even subscribed to him. What is his name? The goofy guy from Alabama. I can't think of his name, but anyway, it'll come to me. This guy, like when he was talking about the energy field or the donut and everything radiates out of the donut. Uh, he had did a show with Dan Winters back in 15 or 16, maybe 15, and Dan Withers talked about that. What is this guy? Brother Sanchez. That's his name. Brother Sanchez, the Alabama dude. But Brother Sanchez shows that matrix, that kind of the donut and the way the the electric field surround this. And as I said before, you can get to that. Like I always call it a type of mushroom where it starts with the golden ratio. Now they're trying to say this thing is a donut, but also the golden ratio it has to go into this thing because everything around us is based on the golden ratio. And so you can't take that away from the equation. So in the center of this donut has to be a type of golden ratio. That's just the way this whole vibration goes through. And so you can reach that. As I said, you can even, get above and find your own space. But to say someone asks like, what do our families do when we pass? And it goes into a little bit of Wes Canary's work of us having different type of energy colors and where the energy colors stay together. And so as we build off this tetrahedron, I think is what it's called, as we branch off to this tetrahedron, we have our own patches of space where the same type of energies again make the same harmony of the source. That's kind of like one of the goals is to be in harmony with the source. And you can be alive and do this. You don't have to be dead and do this, to be in harmony with the source. Hmm. Tetris Field, D. Winters is their true original. Bill and Bob. Yeah, yeah. And Winters is cool. I mean, he prepares you for death. He was the first one to introduce me to fractals. It was something I was always seeing. The benefits is amazing. Nike Beltic, that was a GTA main character. I knew I saw that name before. Oh, okay, okay. And so these are just uh, ideas that to try to understand and how to put it into your life and your existence, and how you stay away from the trap, because it's a trap. It's a trap. It really is. Like Boob Whisper, go into the light, Bobby. Just go into the light. Of course, that's what they want you to do. They go into the light of reincarnation, doing it all again. I wanted to be the best version of myself. Plus, if you had a bad habit of tapping, I wanted to become the best version of myself. Plus, if you had a bad habit of porn, yeah, I never really, like even strip clubs. None of that's really ever been my thing. The only time I've been to strip clubs have been with women, when I've accompanied women that wanted to go. I've owned 2 porn movies when VHS first started coming out. I dubbed 3 movies. I dubbed Richard Pryor, Here and Now, or Live on the Sunset Strip, I forget. Debbie Does Dallas, and Deep Throat. Those are the ones that, and that I watched them. I think my father lost the movies. He was going to a party in Pittsburgh from Michigan, and he asked to borrow them, and it had the greatest running backs of all time with Gale Sayers moves and shit as part of one of the tapes, and he never brought them back, which hurt me. It really did hurt my feelings. But that's the goal of anyone, is to be the best you can be, to be your best self, to be your highest self. I mean, no matter what your spiritual belief, no matter how you're finding it, it's vibrating at the highest you can vibrate. Roman Beltic. Roman Beltic. Nico's cousin. Okay. But that's the thing, is being the highest you can be and vibrating the highest you can vibrate. That is the key. Do your best to vibrate the highest. I mean, as I said again, the witch is right. Love and above. That's it. You've gotta keep your love meter high, because people will take it back, because everything comes off of love. I mean, you love the world, and it's like what Tim Frisk talks about, being a lucid liver. Lucid living is you're watching the picture of life. You're watching the movie of life. I think somebody said last night, or even today, be of the world, but not in it. And that's absolutely right. So you can sit back and you become the observer. And you observe this thing. And what you want to react to and interact to, that is what you put yourself in. That is what you put yourself in, where you want to be. You put yourself in, you jump in, or you don't. Or you let it go by. Debbie Does Dallas. There's a scene where they're working at a store, and the Debbie character, the owner, comes out naked, and she's like, "Oh, Mr. Jameson," and then she ends up giving him some. Yeah, Debbie Does Dallas. Funny, funny shit. Be your most high self. Recognize each one is just a reflection of yourself. There you go. There you go. If you stop, you can die. Don't know what that means. A lot of people talk the black pill. A lot of people take the black pill. Okay. When you observe, it's almost as if you see things happen before they actually happen. Indeed, I'll say that. And that's what we was talking about, intuition. We were talking about intuition. Oh, there's Jamie. Jody. There's Jody. Let me see if I can do this without tearing everything up. Jody, I'm wearing the pants of shame. They gave me the bag for the pants of shame. Let me stand up and show you. I don't know. Could you see them? Oh, I'm just having fun with that. There's some freaking loungers I paid $5 for. Pajamas. Oh, that is very kind. Thank you very much. On this journey, I can think of something, and it will happen. That's how it should be. Jody, I just thought about that little skit. When I bought them, I'm like, I know Jody gonna get me wearing these things. My daughter said they are ugly. I don't care how much you paid for them. You wasted $5. But $5 and they're loungers. They're just damn loungers. uh, hey, Greg, ain't been in the room. Just saying. Okay, well, thank you, Greg. Porn addiction is real for most young dudes nowadays. No, Kurt Franklin was the funniest dude when he talked about porn on Oprah. That shit was funny as hell. He said he wouldn't even let his wife in his bedroom. He said he would just sit there and hammer his shit all day. He was like weak, just like he was a crack addict. He was probably smoking crack too, but he said he would just, not even deal with his wife, just stay in there and watch porn. I can't imagine. I can't imagine, but I guess I'm not into that shit. Uh, groovy point pants. They're funny, especially with the TikTok. Yes, yep. But guys, check out Jody's work too, because Jody really picks up the ritual. You're far from a beta, so yeah, I know. I'm just bullshitting. uh, uh, I don't know, what does that mean? I can't even. Is fapping a sin? I don't know what fapping is, but I don't think so. Kirk shamed himself for that shit. If you mean fucking, no, fucking is not a sin. How can, is it a sin when you see animals do it? So if that's what you mean, hey, I think of something and it will happen. Yeah, yeah, that's how it should be. That's how it really should be. You really should be able to do that. Manifest. I'm working on some manifest now, and I told the motherfucker, look, this is what it is. If it can't be like this, I'm not fucking with it. Now I did blow opportunity before I went to Arkansas. I should have took care of some business. It would have solved a lot of my problems. And I thought I could take care of it when I got back. But again, money changes. You wait a few days, and sure enough, that's what happened. Like the money changed a little quicker on me than anticipated, and so I missed out on the opportunity. But that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Create in the inner world, then the physical, it will follow. That's a good point. That's a real good point. Them some Frankenstein. Oh, he said is masturbating. Nah, masturbating to porn is, you shouldn't masturbate to porn, because when you masturbate, you open up portals. And if you masturbate to porn, you are letting portals, you are letting demons involved in that act. And so masturbate just you and your imagination. But if you masturbate to porn, again, you are letting demons come into that act. Uh, okay. Porn could ruin your life. Well, I don't know. I guess you got crazy with it, but it's masturbating. Okay, thank you for helping me out. Yeah. So not necessarily. It's not really. It's not a sin. Won't stop stunt your growth. All that bullshit you said. My son put it like this. This is how my son said. My son said, I think about calling a girl over, but I beat my meat, and I'm like, fuck her. Like he had a little young lady over here, and she wouldn't leave. Again, I don't want her to leave early in the morning. I'd have gave her a ride. But he's like, she stayed till the morning. He's like, look, when I go to sleep, Dad, I like to be in the bed by myself. And she was taking up some of my space. So, I mean, that's how some people look at it. Um, I've even looked at it that way. I was like, do I want to be bothered with this person? You know, or do I really want to share that type of energy? You know, so a lot of times I don't. Sometimes I do, but a lot of times I don't. But yeah, that's a real thing. I mean, you're opening up portals when you watch porn and you masturbate. Even when you watch porn and have sex, these things are released, and these things are there because you've opened that portal up the way you use porn. And so, if you're having sex when you're watching porn, again, this shit is released. It's like people don't understand scary movies do the same kind of thing. You're releasing things to your atmosphere. And we let our children watch that shit. You know, when our children go over to somebody else's house or don't watch them with the cable, and how many people set their TVs up anymore, you know, the tablets, the phones where they can't watch certain shit. Kind of a gone thing. Too much porn ruins lives. Watching causes, I don't know about that part. Because that's why when you get a massage, a lot of places will still give you a happy ending because what happens is you're still sending blood to that area. That's what a lot of times happens is as you get older, blood doesn't, the testosterone is less, and so blood doesn't go to those areas. So that's why a lot of places when you get a massage, they will give you a happy ending because again, it's working parts, you know, keeping those parts working and keeping blood flow. Cause you know, when I wake up in the morning, even though I'm 60, you know, I'm hitting the top of my ceiling. You know, I wake up, I hit the ceiling. You know, so I gotta watch how I get out the bed because I wake up and pull off the covers and boom, it hits the ceiling. So porn creates jobs. Well, yeah. Thank you for joining, Ethan. It does. It does. There's a business, one of the biggest businesses in the country. Yeah. Sex is also a portal. Well, that's what I'm saying. You're corrupting it by bringing these other forces in there. And the thing I hated about porn is I do not want to see another man's dick. I just don't. That's why when I've had threesomes, fuck another motherfucker being there. I don't want another dick near me. So I've had women's, but I ain't never had where me and a dude. I mean, you know, that sounds like sword fighting to me. I just don't get that. I had teammates want to do that. I had teammates. I've had teammates, or let me say this. I've known of dudes pull a train on a woman and the woman didn't even know. I've had guys that would pull a train on a woman and the woman wouldn't even know. They'd have a woman come over and start doing it from her from the back, and then they'd have like the roommate under the bed, and then they would switch. And the woman would he would still talk to her and shit, and that women wouldn't even know. But yep, you definitely got to be mentally strong. Well, yeah, Dylan, today's day, you definitely got to be mentally strong. Did you watch the movie about organ trafficking? Yeah, I've watched several movies and short films about that. It's the real thing. I got exposed to porn at an early age on Showtime. You know what? My son did too. Very crazy movie. My son did too. He learned about porn like that too. Because his grandfather had one of the boxes. Remember back in the day, if you had a box, you could get all the channels and pay per view and everything for free. All the porn brokers get keystroke malware ready to jump on through your devices. Well, kind of like that, yeah. I watch women by themselves. There you go. You know, the funny shit I did as a teenager, you could put I think it's 50 cents when we started going. Because again, I was 5'10", 5'11", and 13, 14, you know. So I remember like we would go and watch the quarter movies. The movies was a quarter, but to see a woman, you would just put 50 cents and this thing would go up and you would see the woman right there. And like she would put them on the glass or shake her ass, and then you know go back down and you pop another 50 cents in, and she would do all the shit again, the funniest shit in the world. But I was so naive. My friend and I would go in the shop and watch the movies, and I never understood what the goddamn there were paper towels in there. And I remember the first time I went in when I saw a dude coming out holding a paper towel and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is he doing with the paper towel? I just didn't get it. Porn creates viruses. Yeah, kind of mental viruses. Run it up. Thank you for joining. And since this year is a mirror year, all portal energy is doubled. Oof, oof. That's a deep statement. Exactly. Ain't no other in the room but me. That's what I'm saying. I never understood that thing. Yeah, we had one of them boxes. Yeah, the box you can watch everything. Semen retention is the key for young men. For young men, I agree. For young men, it helps in some ways, especially I would say less. It probably helps single men more than married men. But, it's something to be considered because it is positive to hold as much of your energy in as you can at times. You know, there's benefits to it, and there's benefit. It's each individual situation and the way you build energy. That's all. That's all. I mean, we have a society that is set us to give away our energy at every cost. I mean, when we talk about sports, instead of the ball field being part of creation and being sacred, they want a corruption of it. They ruin that for you because now they're telling you you can't take the ball field into your awareness because they're telling you that when you go into the ethers or even the czar, whatever you want to call it, that you can take a ball field in there with you and you control everything in the ball field. You can set up your own camp in that ball field. It's almost like you can use the ball field like a magic carpet. And as you navigate, that's why I ain't really with the shamans because the shamans say you got to pick a demon. I go in these directions. I turn my ball field in, and I move around with my ball field. And I've said before, I have used spirit animals. I mean, fucking buffalo is just getting inside a buffalo that's some of the. I can't even describe that shit. I enjoyed being a buffalo more than I enjoyed being an eagle. Now, I've said many times before, being a panther was probably better than both. But being a buffalo, that's the shit. That is the shit. To just be able to just be that strong. And, I mean, that is just an amazing feeling, that freedom of running. And again, the way the European thinks, they destroyed all them buffaloes. And buffaloes went from freaking Colorado, Wyoming, and went all the way up into New York, somewhat into Florida, and had done that for as long as they had been around. Now, if you go into admiral law, maritime law, that means the buffalo don't own all that shit. If you have a habit of occupying land consistently, that land belongs to them. As I said before, there's a reality where the people were smart enough and let them roam, built society around that shit, where they didn't have to need to pluck from the buffalo. And it's the same way you could do cows. You could let cows run free and let them move their natural way instead of the way you slaughter. Because what I learned about being a buffalo, one of the best learned lessons I got was the buffalo didn't mind when one of the hunters captured one of them. Because the way the buffalo looked at it, it didn't capture the rest of them. So the buffalo was satisfied that its brothers got away. And if it took its own life, it felt it helped its brothers get away. And that really was the mentality. It didn't mind dying that the rest of them could escape. Let me see. Did I miss anything right here? Sex and porn really hurts men. That's why athletes are told to leave their women for big games. They stay in a hotel. Porn takes. I don't know about that. I used to have sex almost before all my games. So I don't know about that because you have sex like football is so different than basketball. In football, if you got a 1 o'clock game, you going to eat and then you going especially if you got to get taped, you are going down to the stadium by 9. So if you have sex at 7 in the morning, you go eat, you go to the stadium 9, 10 o'clock, you play at a 1 o'clock game. So, the Jaguar was intense. Dreams on shrooms worth it. The Jaguar's intense. Dream state on shrooms. Yeah. Oh shit. I mean, I talk about this all the time. A damn being a jaguar, you smell a damn near 100 miles around you. You know your territory, and you know when motherfuckers prey or enemies come in that shit. I mean, just that a power to kill a deer, 200-pound deer, and then bite that motherfucker and pick it up with your mouth and fucking run back to your cave or take it back to your cave without missing a step. I mean, that shit was wild. But just to be able to come out and hear, but smell everything in your territory, that to me, I enjoyed more than flying. I really did. I think the flying was the least. Being an eagle was the least favorite. I mean, the flying stuff and being able to see, but it just, I don't know. I didn't connect to being an eagle, and even though that is one of the names, eight wing eagle. But yeah, I thought way more intense. My dad, Hustler magazine, and I found my dad. When I was in third grade, my dad kept his old Playboys under my bed, so of course I found them. It was my room. Sports rig, of course, but I make money off it. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Make money off the rig. Whoops. It kills the man's drive. I have more energy when I don't. Most of it went back to there. Okay, okay. Have you been a shark? Well, not necessarily a shark, but how do I say this? Part of being a human, and it's not like the Darwinism shit, but it's like, how can I say this? It's like almost experience being an amphibian, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Because we're in the womb, it's very much we're amphibians when we're in the womb. So I'm able to experience that part of being in the ocean. Um, but the funnest part of the oceans is the storm. I mean, again, I'm a wind energy, and I mean, being a part of a storm, or actually even sitting in the eye of a storm, that's a hell of a feeling. To have all that natural power uh, that can affect so many miles away. But no, a shark is interesting. I've never been a shark. Can you show us a photo of your back? Back in the day, I don't think you've leaked much different. Yeah, I look a lot different. I'm looking at this picture when we went to the Vikings game back at 17. I've lost weight. Let me see if I have pictures of me back in the day. This is my phone. My son's had my phone for about a year. Oh, here we go. It's obviously not me. I just post. Uh, there's a lot of pictures of him. I don't know if there's any pictures of me on this motherfucker anymore since he's had it for so long. Most of these pictures are me or him. I don't even see my picture. I don't know. This is back in 15, 16, maybe 16, 17. I don't know if I have any younger pictures. And my scrapbook isn't right here. My scrapbook isn't right here. I don't know. This is 13. My son and I, 13. He's in college, so it's got to be 13. I don't know. I don't know if I got any old Afro pictures. I don't think any Afro pictures. I'd have to get my scrapbook. And this is what I use now, but this is the full picture. And isn't that so? Um, looks like what could be in war or Bosnia. War is going outside of her window, and she just lighting up a square. It does every day. I love this picture. I'm gonna get a big picture of it. Get it mounted. I don't know if any pictures of me from. Oh, here we go. Okay, I found one. College picture of me when I play football. That is my haircut. Must be junior year. So this is 81. Yeah, this must be 81. I had a color picture like this. I lost it. Matter of fact, I had a color picture, and then someone drew a chalk picture of it. It got destroyed over the years. But yeah, that's how I looked at. I must be 19, 20, maybe 20, 20, 21. I don't know. 19, 18, 19, 20, somewhere in there. Looks like my oldest son. Me and my teammates. That's probably the oldest picture of this group. So don't look too different. Well, guys, I think I'm gonna call it. I am tired. I'll let you know tomorrow on the responsible daddy hour because I'm still picking up the girls this week. If we are going to, if I'm going on tomorrow night, MJ. Oh, that's funny. Uh, you of course. Do your research. Rocking the fedora. Oh yeah, I'm definitely Midwest. We wear fur coats and we still wear Godfather hats and Kangos. I don't the narratives that are presented to me. There you go. Sleep well. Thank you. You too. Definitely. Thank you. Uh, as I say, you just got to keep yourself in the frequency of love or above. And that's why I listen to love music. And that's why they destroyed love music. Because they can't have somebody go, how can you do this to me? I'm all alone in my dreams. I tried to be good. You took me to a place no other could. I just woke and found you were gone. Now I say these words to you through the words of this song. It's you that I need. When you holding a girl and you two-stepping, or you two-stepping to always and forever, you know the vibration of love that holds? You two-stepping in time and movement. St. Lucie private offices in the middle of the ocean, fully underwater with independent lockbox and for assist, including Bitcoin hard drives. Wow. Okay, I'd like to tap into that. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to listen to an old man get a little off, you know. And I'm just keep trying to put in content and add things every night the best I can. And when I can get the equipment back right, but it's a giant step because this damn little machine is working. So just got to get the other stuff going. But that's coming too. Again, buying a camera, buying gold just seems like buying gold is a better way to do it. And I can afford to do both, but it's just, I just right now, I'm in buying. Well, I will go give the divination for tomorrow. So tomorrow is day 3, and it's Akbal. And Akbal stands for night or house. Its qualities are conscious dreamer, abyss, mystery, sanctuary, serenity, looks within place, enclosing darkness, journey into self, stillness, dream time, dream field, matrix, dream exploration. Symbols, womb, abyss, dark cave, or the bat. Numbers 3. Color is black. Herbs, mugwort, poppy, mandrake. Flowers, black orchid, black rose, black carnation. Flower essence, white orchid, access to dream world. Scent, hollyberry, amir resin. Stones, hematite, obsidian, smoky quartz, black tourmaline, charcoal, moonstone. Onyx, black pearl, the water element. The energies coming out of the west. Shadow wisdom, viewpoint to eternal and subjective, sadness, depression, self-judgment, fear of change. The shadow transformation. Be willing to examine how you judge and evaluate yourself. Embrace and follow your inner shadow process to learn from their gifts. Harmonic wisdom, integration, mandra. And I'm going to start doing some of these mantras. Eyes closed, hands together at waist, palms up, bowing forward, then raised upright, crossing forearms on the chest. Meditation. I am the darkness that is the light and the stillness that is dancing. T.S. Eliot. Affirmation. I pilgrimage deep within to the sanctuary of self to garner the gift awaiting me. Again, the color is black for tomorrow. So if you want to manifest, you want to push, the energy is there from the west. This was another one of my my books on how to how the Mayan spiritual system and the Mayan divination systems, and then what's his name, Jose Aguirre's, who really started a lot of the spiritual system of truly operating the Mayan spiritual system. He talks about the light pulses, and even as I was just reading those cards, there's a type of rhythm every day. Like every day, there's a type of rhythm or sound that can elevate you every day, every day. That's why certain music comes on or a new song comes on, you vibe to it because it could be the energy of that day. That's why I play some of the same songs every morning, but most of those songs hit the energy of the day. And so look for that for yourself. And again, try to hold love as long as you can hold it. As I was saying, being the lucid liver and watching the play, being able to step in and out of the play. And that's really what it is being able to step in and out of it. Because at times you can plug into the matrix and at times you can step back. But your body's still there operating within the matrix, but you mentally step back. You've taken your energy back. You see the energy's fucked up, so you step back. You do that magic or emotional step back. Well, I'm not plugging into that shit. And that's what it is. That's what it is. If it feels foul, it probably is foul. So I'll end the day with moral. It all starts with a gentle sadness. They came from their original homeland, but knew they had a limited days and years to live as a civilization and a lifestyle. But the civilization would build to a gentle love. They lived in the Creator's day and knew how to separate cycles in the great serpent, which is the Milky Way, which we all can do. And to all my relatives, all the people that watch this, remember, I am another yourself. So treat me, or even when you're looking at me, remember that you are also looking at yourself. Because there's a little bit of me that you see in yourself, of the information or however, when you watch it. So as the witch says, love her above. I don't want to marry the witch, but that part she says is good. I don't know about the rest of that shit she fucks with, but that part is something I do share. So don't be coming over here, witch. Don't come to my dreams. Don't be trying to give me some. I'm not saying that shit because that's what be happening. I'll mention her and then she's right there in the dream trying to ride me and shit. I'm like, shit, really? And she'll like change into one of my ex-wives and shit. And she's sitting on my lap in a dream and we're supposed to be driving, but she's all in my lap. And I'm just looking at her like, it is you. Love her above, chick. That's you. I know when you pop in, that's you. And I'm just looking at her. And it's funny. She'll be like, you don't want to do it? I'm like, I'm in a dream and I don't want to definitely do it to you. But you don't quit trying. And this bitch is rich and married. I'm like, what the fuck do you keep fucking with me for? So it's something she sees that's got to be real. So this is the Chocolate Mountain Show. Till we meet again. Say less.